I typically do not respond to other people's content, but this is the first time I've seen something and I need to address it. I feel like I found one of the greatest rage bait videos on TikTok, and let's review it together as a family.
Giving you what you wanted, and yet you still find a way to blame him for something that he's not a part of. Ari Emanuel and whoever else is in charge at TKO, they have decided that Cody Rhodes is not it. Stop blaming The Rock because Cody can't carry. This is his second straight WrestleMania that people have had to jump into because wrestling fans are fantasy booking something that's just not there. Y'all keep saying, but if you let Cody do this, and then they let Cody do that, and you're like, nah, nah, nah. It's creative. Creative is doing it. It's all creative. Cody's perfect. He's the best. If they just let him do his thing, he's trash. He's absolute garbage. He will never be good at his job. I don't even know if comparing him to the Ultimate Warrior is the right thing because Ultimate Warrior is looked at as a legend in today's wrestling landscape. Cody Rhodes might not be that. He just might be the biggest mistake in the history of professional wrestling. I don't know what's worse. David Arquette holding the WCW championship or Cody Rhodes coming back to WWE and getting a main event at WrestleMania. When I
Whoa, David Arquette, an actor that won the WCW championship, and Cody Rhodes, that has a father, Dusty Rhodes, who's been in the industry for years, grew up in the industry, and has at least 15 years skin in the game. That seems kind of diabolical, don't you think? What type of things would you say Cody has dropped the ball on? When we need to get a nice visceral promo and have some passion in it, you can get that from Cody. If you need to have a good match, we can get that from Cody. So how is it that he's the absolute worst thing to ever happen to wrestling, comparing him to David Arquette? Ultimate Warrior didn't even have any stamina to do it, to compete in any matches. He would do his finish and go home. Was he hype? Yes, but let's be realistic. Cody has more depth to his character. And let's go back to the last two WrestleManias. We're talking about interjecting at WrestleMania 40, because we got to start there, right? At WrestleMania 40, people in the audience fought tooth and nail to make sure The Rock and Roman Reigns didn't go down, simply because the storyline aligned with Cody Rhodes having to face Roman Reigns. It made sense. You're trying to tell me he wins the Royal Rumble back to back and he doesn't fight Roman Reigns? The Rock versus Roman Reigns is a money match, but it wasn't the right time. You built all this equity up and then you tried to interject at the wrong time. Makes no sense. And let's jump into WrestleMania 41, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Realistically, TKO dropped the ball. They thought it would have been enough to sit down and bring in The Rock to hype up a moment, to have John Cena turn heel, bring in Travis Scott, and then all the pieces of the puzzle just drop because they couldn't align to commitments. We all know The Rock's a busy guy. And of course, when you don't have all the information, you're going to find someone to blame. But The Rock has so many different commitments. Who knew if he was actually supposed to be there the whole time? And then Travis Scott fell through. If we sat down and watched the match play by play, the match was whatever, right? Cody was carrying majority of the promos because John Cena wasn't on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown the whole time, simply because he had limited dates. And that's not on Cody because he had limited dates. It's on WWE and TKO because we watched Unreal. We sat down and we heard John Cena say verbatim, man, hey, I wanted to do a full schedule of
Want to do
230,
200
250.
dates? I think I can manage that. That face is what the what I got from when I pitched my idea to WWE. I wanted to do 200 dates.
You wanted to do 200 dates?
Yeah, just to say goodbye to everybody. Like, I wanted to try to go everywhere from Perth, Australia to Mid-Hudson Civic Center to, like, you name it. I wanted to go everywhere I've been to just say thank you to everybody. And the WWE came back. It's like, no, we only need 36.
Schedule of
And
230, 250. It doesn't matter how many days he said. But he said he was willing to do a full schedule, and they said no. So what does that mean? They gave us 90 days, and in that time expired, and Cody was the one who really held down the whole promos, the whole segment, the whole angle. So the fact that John Cena, that match flopped, was because of TKO. If they decided to say The Rock would have been there long term and they integrated that, they flopped the storyline. If you are a long-term wrestling fanatic or someone who understands the programming, continuity is something that's very important, and we never got that. How can we blame Cody for that? They did that at the Elimination Chamber. They know that they wanted high ticket sales, and how do you do that? You bring in The Rock, the people's champion, and you know The Rock is good for numbers. So if we bring The Rock in and he starts something, and we know he's the final boss, and he talks about wanting Cody's soul, why would he not stick around for the rest of the angle? So they dropped that. And even Rock said he felt like he did what he needed to do and they could have carried on, but they obviously couldn't because we have high expectations in the IWC so that we want to see The Rock. And it would have been more meaningful for him to walk down that ramp at WrestleMania 41 instead of Travis Scott. So that was a wash. And now we have WrestleMania 42. We have guys like Ari Emanuel bringing in Pat McAfee thinking that he's the right star, knowing that Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes has history. All we needed to do was let the history play out. When Randy Orton turned heel and attacked Cody Rhodes, did he get the boos? No. He did not get the boos. But do you know what he did get? He got the cheers because people wanted to see Randy Orton turn heel this whole time. All we had to do was stay in the pocket. Bringing in Pat McAfee did nothing. Your claims, they're essentially frivolous, brother. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to your platform. You're doing your thing. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But when you sit down and say he is the worst, when he is the worst, that is a terrible claim. It doesn't even make sense. Come on, brother. Smell the roses.